Hey guys, good morning. Jess here to talk to you about your Road Warriors programming for today, Sunday, May 31st, I guess the last day of the month. If you didn't check out Thursday's video and blog post, to just really briefly explain kind of what we're doing. Road Warriors programming, we've reduced it from 3 days a week to 2 days a week. So you'll just see the programming coming out on Thursdays and Sundays. So that's the days that we are off on our locked and loaded programming. So just a little bit of something to kind of counter that stuff if and ideally maybe give you guys access to just, more different programming each day. Um, so Thursdays and Sundays will be your programmed Road Warrior days. Thursdays are going to be our interval-based work, shorter runs, maybe some shorter distances mixed in with some mixed modality things too. So like some body weight exercises, as we've seen, like maybe squats, lunges, push-ups, burpees, things like that mixed in, or just some straight up intervals as we saw this past Thursday. Sundays are going to be our longer distance pieces. So whether that is a steady state run, like we'll talk about here in a little bit for today's work, or it might be some longer running pieces also incorporated with some mixed modality. So I might mix it up a little bit as depending on what we're doing Thursday, just kind of a little mix and match. If you did want to keep a third day of running, or of course rowing or biking or whatever else you guys might have, you can always substitute um, a different modality for running if you have that equipment available. But if you wanted to add a third day, then I would suggest either adding it Monday or probably Tuesday would be better. And that could just be kind of a steady, lower intensity day, 2, 3, maybe max upwards 4 mile run, depending on what your volume of running has been. So that can be on Tuesday, just a nice, easy pace for that. All right, so for today, Sunday, what we have, we're going to start with our little joint prep movements. So we're starting with ankle rocks. I'm calling them ankle rocks, but basically toes and heels. So you've seen these. Feet about hip width apart. We're just going to come up to your tiptoes and then sink back onto your heels. So 10 of these forward and back. The first one, I always tend to fall over when I come back to my heels and then realize I got to send my butt back a little bit more to get into that action. So 10 rocks forward and back, heels and toes. From here, we're going to go into hip and knee circles. So 10 each, maybe 5 in one direction, 5 in the other. So first, hip circles, you guys know, with a wide stance, just going to go hip circles, trying to make a big circle with your hips. I like to think about a slow hula hooping here. You would fail at hula hooping, but you win at getting your hips open. So you'll go 5 in one direction, 5 in the other, and then we'll go knee circles. So from here, you'll bring your feet together here. Hands can come on the knees, and we're just going to rock through into some knee circles. So kind of from the side here too, just trying to form circles through your knees. So 5 in each direction, 10 total. And then finally, we'll take it from onto the floor in a quadruped position. Hands right underneath the shoulders, knees right underneath your hips into a little cat-cow. So first, we're going to look up, let your belly drop, pull. I like to think about pulling back with your hands too. That helps to open up your chest a little bit more. And then you'll go into cat. So pushing through the heels of your hands, really rounding your upper back, pushing the floor away, and then coming back into your cow. So be, intentional with this. You don't have to be super fast, right? We're not looking to do a kneeling twerk, although maybe you are, I don't know. But just looking for some steady movement, start to get some movement through your spine, and even also kind of starting to get your abs engaged too for your run. So that's your little joint prep, body prep movement work. Then we'll take it into our proper warm up. Oh, so with that joint prep work, at least one time through. However, 2 times is great as well if you have the time for that. For our warm up, I'm looking for at least 2 rounds for the warm up. Again, if you have time, maybe you're going to add in a third round, but listen to your body too and know what you might need for today. We've got 20 alternating standing toe touches. So you'll take a stance wider than shoulder width apart. Hands out to the side, you're going to hinge, right hand down towards your left toe, stand all the way at the top, and then switch. So I know you've seen these, but a couple key points for performance is try to keep your back relatively neutral. So as you hinge here, butt goes back, back stays flat, and then you can rotate. If you're feeling a little bit stiff, you might even pause here and add a little rotation. That feels really nice. Then you come to standing and then switch. If you're a little bit tighter, you might just have to pause at the shin or even just above the knee here, right? So those are your options for that. You're doing 10 total, or I'm sorry, 20 total, so 5 each side. From there, you'll take it into some alternating lateral lunges. So with the lateral lunge, you can start with your feet together or feet about hip width apart. You're going to step out to the side, sink your hip back, come back to center, and then you'll switch. I gotta scoot over a little bit so I don't run into my couch. Then I'll step out to my right side, sink down, and come back to center. So that's kind of making it dynamic, always returning to center with feet together before you step out. That's your lateral lunge. If you just want to take it into a classic squat, you can stay with your feet nice and wide and then just alternate back and forth. But when you do these, your goal ideally is to get your hip crease below parallel and then come back up to full standing at the top so the hips are extended. So for those, you're just doing 10 total, 10 alternating, so 5 each leg. And then finally, we'll take it into hollow rocks as our final movement of our warm-up from the floor, shoulder blades up, squeeze the legs together, just rocking back and forth here, right? If you need to modify, you can always come into, bring your arms by your side. You can come one leg or the other leg. You can come both legs, or you can even just hold here into a static position here. Depending on where you're at, holding for about 20 seconds. That works as well. So that is your warm-up for today. We've got 2 or 3 rounds, 20 alternating standing toe touches, 10 lateral lunges, alternating lateral lunges, so 5 each leg, and then 20 hollow rocks. For our run work today, so we're doing a 4-mile piece, with all nasal breathing and all wearing your mask or whatever your protective covering is. As I've been saying for the past several weeks now, please be mindful of your surroundings. Please try to choose areas that are slightly less populated. Protect yourself, protect others, and try to go at non-peak hours. So hopefully, if you're watching this, it's early and you're going to get out before the masses get outside on Sunday. Okay, so 4-mile run. First mile, easy pace. Once you just take it nice and easy, start to warm up the body a little bit more, groove in your running mechanics there. And then for miles 2 and 3, you're going to look to increase the intensity. So if you've got a tracker that is monitoring your pace should drop. So you're increasing the intensity while still maintaining nasal breathing though. If you start to get a little too uncomfortable and feel like you are going to hyperventilate, then just slow your pace down a little bit, even take it to a walk if needed, and then return right back to your running as soon as you can. So that's for miles 2 and 3. The intensity goes up a little bit, so the pace, you get a little faster. For the 4th mile, you're going to bring it back down. So slow down the intensity. Maybe, again, if you are listening to a tracker, your pace, you're going to be about as fast as where you were with mile 1. Try not to let yourself slide too far below that. So just kind of easing it back down. 4 miles total, just getting some volume with a little bit of sandwich with a little bit of speed or faster work in the middle. When you are done with that 4-mile work, you're then going to cool down. So finish it out with a 3 to 5 minute walk as we have been doing, and then a little cool down mobility stretches. We've got standing forward fold. So from here, come to a standing position, bring one foot up over the other across the body, and then you can just kind of sink down. Now, if you're flexible enough, you might be able to touch the floor. You might be able to grab onto your ankles here. But you can kind of take a breath in, maybe look up and forward, and then you can sink yourself down there, right? So just getting a little stretch through those hamstrings. When you're done with that, so I recommend 90 seconds to 2 minutes each side on that. From there, I take it into a standing calf stretch. So here, if I have a wall, you have a tree, whatever you have, can kind of lean one foot up against it and then just kind of sink into it, right? So keep that foot is flexed, toe up towards you, and then you'll lean in. If you want to get a little bit more into your calf as well, you can let your knee bend a bit. Might feel a little bit silly against a tree, but that's okay. Or if you're doing it at home, that's fine. But just spending some time working out your calves. From there, couch stretch, the infamous, ever popular couch stretch. One knee comes to the back of a couch, or maybe you're just going to hold your ankle, that same ankle if you're outside and you don't have a couch, because we aren't the people that put couches on our porches, because we don't have porches for one. Anyway, so one knee comes down. I'm going to squeeze my butt, chest stays up here, and then look to kind of push that hip forward. So if this is an aggressive stretch, you can bring your knee further away. Here, if it's not so bad, you can bring your knee even closer. I definitely cannot do that because that is so tight for me. You can also here, just kind of like as I've done, bring that hand down and then push everything forward. I might need to adjust this front foot a little bit to sink into the stretch, but you guys know, find what you need. You can even reach down, back, grab that foot if you want to. Your choice, hunt around there. And that is it for your work. So as I recommend, 90 seconds to 2 minutes each side. I might just hang out here of those. So accumulating upwards of 10 minutes. If you did get your run out early, then maybe you can join us for active recovery class at 10 o'clock with Coach Fox. If you guys have any questions or anything, please feel free to shoot me an email, post it on the blog, whatever all that stuff is. And I will see you guys next week. Take care.